Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in. Behind me, 2006 Chrysler PT Cruiser. We're gonna be replacing the front wheel stud. That's what your lug nut screws onto. Let's get started. We're gonna turn the wheel all the way to one side so we can get access to our caliper bracket. I'm gonna take a screwdriver, put it in this window, in between the caliper and the rotor. We're just gonna pull out and that'll suck in our piston just a little. There we go. Gives us just a little more slack so everything goes on a little easier. If you can't do that step, that's okay. These are an 18 millimeter. We'll hang this with a caliper hanger. We can pull our rotor off since it already kind of came off. Now there's a little window slot right here that gives us just enough room for our wheel stud. So let's move this. Might need to put it in neutral. Yep. All right, we got it in neutral. You want to make sure it's in neutral first before removing our brakes. If you forget like I did, then you just have to be very careful not to push that brake pedal down too far. You could pop out your caliper piston. But we're good to go. Now let's just turn this right there, right inside our window. Now it's as easy as taking a hammer and knocking it out. Just like that, slide it through, and that's our old one. Now let's put in our new one. Now I like putting a little bit of lubricant on my locking splines. That'll help it slide in a little easier. You don't have to, but I like it. Now we'll slide this through, just like that. In order to press in our new wheel stud, if you have one of the long lug nuts, we can use that because it's long enough. If you have a short lug nut like our new one, it's a little too short, so our stud is gonna pop through the end before it gets tightened. In that case, I just have a big nut and washer, and that could be used as a spacer. Goes over like that, and then you can put the new lug nut on, and that's enough space. It doesn't really matter what method you use. Let me use the original lug nut. That way, if you don't have any of these spacers lying around, you can see how it works. I want to move this just a little out of the way. I'm going to lubricate our hub here. That's so our lug nut can just spin freely. We'll put this back. Put a little right here too. Slide this on. Take our impact. Let me zoom in a little more. Now, I'm using an impact, but you don't have to. This will work just the same with the socket and ratchet. Suck it down. Looks like I am gonna need just one spacer on there. Put it back on. There we go, we're bottomed out. That's it, let's throw our brakes back on. Put our rotor on. I'm gonna put a lug nut on. That'll hold our rotor in place. Now it won't move on us. Take our caliper. Because I had to push on the brakes to put it in neutral, mine's not gonna slide back over. So I'm gonna have to pull the caliper off the bracket. Hopefully yours will just slide back over. But if for some reason they don't, this is how we can put it back. We're just gonna push our caliper to the side. Pull out our brake pads. There. Now we'll put our bracket back on. These are 77 foot-pounds. Put our outer pad back on. Push in my caliper piston. There's a lot of different tools for this. I have this one, works pretty good. I'll have to push it all the way in just a little. See if that's enough. If you had to pull these off, they're 26 foot-pounds. We'll straighten out our wheel, put our tire back on, and we're all done. Good job. All right, that's how you can replace the wheel stud on the front of your PT Cruiser. All in all, not too bad. One recommendation, this is what the lug nut looks like after using it to press in that wheel stud. Maybe, just as an option, go ahead and purchase 2 extra deep lug nuts. That way, if one gets damaged, you got a spare lying around. And that's it. Hopefully your repair goes well. I have links in the description for all the parts and tools used. If you have any questions, comment, post down below. See you on the next one.